Hi, and welcome to the Jenspiration Conversation. My name is Jennifer, and if you have landed here for the first time, I very much welcome you to this space. If you are a returning viewer, I'm deeply grateful that you have chosen to come back and have a Jenspiration conversation with me. Here at the Jenspiration Conversation, we talk all things spiritual, but we make it street. Street spirituality feels really on brand. So if that sounds like you and you want to come along for the ride, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay. First of all, it's beautiful outside today, and I decided to film in my OG spot because it's just the sun, it just feels amazing. So maybe that's an indicator that this video is going to be amazing. What do I want to talk to you about today? Okay, here goes. A couple of things have transpired, and when they started to all come together in my brain, it came out as a theme. And the theme is that as a society, we have become so distracted. And as a collective, we are forced into that distraction. It's a way to keep us numb. It's a way to keep us bombarded with images, information, situations, opinions. It's a way to keep you distracted so that you don't stop to think long enough about how you feel. Okay, so that's the gist of what this video is. And because I want to stay on track, because I know time is precious and you didn't come here to hear me ramble, I have some examples. So if I refer to my notes, it's just because I want to stay on track. I was watching TV last night, and I was scrolling through some of the subscriptions that I have for streaming services, and I came across a show. I'm not going to tell you which one because that's not the point. And they are marketing themselves as secondary TV. That's what they're calling themselves. And the more I read, I put my hands in my head and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is the world we've come to. So secondary TV, if you didn't know what that was, they're basically saying, this show isn't great, but put us on while you're doing something else. So put us on while you're scrolling through your phone. Put us on while you're doing the dishes or laundry or trying to have a conversation with your partner. Just put us on in the background, right? So they're marketing themselves as an additional piece of information or media that's coming to you while you're already doing something else. So when we should be present in each moment that we're in, the media and the world is trying to be like, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Because if you do that, if you stop to think, you're going to wake up. And we need people asleep. We need you to be asleep. So here's some secondary TV. Here's a show that's probably shit, but like put it on in the background while you're doing something else. So while you're doing something else, you should be in that moment. Like washing the dishes is actually quite meditative. Like I am renting and I don't have a dishwasher, so I wash my dishes every night. And I don't have anything on in the background. I do it at the end of the day. It's quiet. It's me, the warm water, and the soap, and I'm washing the dishes. And it's just, I just turn my brain off and I wash the dishes. Cleaning your house can be meditative too, because if you are like in the moment with that activity, you can actually stop to think maybe about what happened that day or whatever. But this TV show is like, no, put us on instead, because we need you asleep and we need you bombarded with additional information so you don't stop to think long enough about how you're feeling or what you're actually thinking, okay? Another situation, this happened many years ago. There's one that's coming to my mind, but if I stop to think about it, it's actually happened more than once. I was dating this guy, and we had been on a few dates, and he had come over. We made dinner at my place, and then I was like, well, do you want to go for a walk? What do you want to do? And he's like, well, let's just watch a movie. And I'm like, okay. So I had this really beautiful loft above my garage. It had a huge TV and a big couch, like super comfy, like perfect for sports and TV. And we were scrolling through looking for a movie, and we both found one that we hadn't seen before. And I was excited. I was like, oh gosh, that never happens, right? So we put the movie on, and like we get all cozy, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. And literally the movie's starting, and you know when they put like the actors' names that and the director and all that, the initial credits are coming up, and he immediately grabs his phone and he starts scrolling through his phone. And I looked over at him and I thought, okay, well, he's going to put that down, right? Like he's going to put that down. No, he didn't. And I didn't say anything because I was like, well, maybe it's work stuff, or this was back when I was a little bit less myself. The girl that is sitting in front of you now would absolutely say something. But the girl from many years ago was just like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to let him be and do his thing and boo. Anyway, he scrolled through his phone 3/4 of the movie. Like there was like a funny part and I laughed and I looked over, nothing. So not only was he not paying attention to an activity I thought we were going to do together, but he wasn't present with me in that moment. Like he was actually watching videos on his phone. We had something in front of us, but he was watching a video on his phone. And it struck me that that's probably a habit that he does. He probably does that at home. He has something on and then he distracts himself with a secondary activity. And I mean, there's probably people who add a third activity and have like music on, the TV on, and they're scrolling on their phone, right? You are just inundating your brain. Is that a word? Inundating your brain and your eyes with information constantly. And again, I'm coming back to this because it's the whole point of the video. The reason that society wants you to do that is because they don't want you to feel anything. They want you to feel pressured to constantly be performing or buy this or upgrade this or do that. It's just constant, right? And it's so subliminal now that people don't even notice. He didn't even notice that he did it, because at the end of the movie, I looked at him and I said, what did you think? And he's like, I don't know, I didn't really get it. And I'm like, you didn't get it because you were on your phone? He was like, no, I wasn't. I said, yeah, you were on your phone most of the time. I'm like, do you even know how it ended? He's like, oh shit, no, sorry. And then he gets all like lovey-dovey and I'm like, no, dude. Like, that's not happening, okay? Like, that's not happening. This was supposed to be date night. Like, be present for date night. So, you know what? If you care, that was the end of our dating. I didn't date him after that. He called a couple times and I was like, no, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it like for a little while, but I was the type of girl that, let me just give everybody a chance and blah. Anyway, that was the end of that date. The other thing that happened this past summer, this one stands out to me because it's significant in my brain, but this happens all the time, and I know you're going to be able to relate to this. So I own an interior design and home staging business. So I stage houses for clients, and most of my clients are realtors. So a realtor will call me, I'll quote a job, and I own all of my furniture. So I come in and I stage houses, different packages, all of that good stuff. So I was on site at a reno, like a flip house, with a realtor I had worked with many times. Okay, so I know her. And the construction was almost done. So the owner was not there, but the construction manager was. Okay, so it's August, it's hot, like it's really hot. So we were standing outside, we were in the sun, and it was a little uncomfortable because I was like, gosh, could we move this conversation inside? Anyway, so the construction manager is standing here. I'm standing here, and the realtor is standing here. And he is in a full-on conversation with her, okay? Now, she does have her phone in her hand, but it's down here. And she is listening to him. Like, I'm watching them talk, and I'm engaged in the conversation, and I'm listening. And out of nowhere, he is mid-sentence. And she picks up her phone, and she starts doing something on her phone while he's mid-sentence. And I was like mortified. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, she's going to put her phone down, right? She's going to put her phone down. No, she didn't. He's still talking to her, and she had her face in her phone. And the interesting thing is, I think as a society, we've become so used to that. I don't even think he noticed that she stopped listening and got distracted and into her phone. So I kind of just like, oh, really? That's cool. Like, I wanted him to know that I was still engaged in the conversation. So I saw his body language shift, and he proceeded to finish the conversation with me. And so we finished the meeting, and we're standing out by our vehicles, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, okay, what package do you want? Like, when would you like this done? And the entire time she's talking to me, she's in her phone. And she's like, well, I don't, like, okay, Jen, like, when are you, okay, we'll just do whatever. And she's in her phone, not present with me at all. And I know that that is one in a million examples that you've probably encountered. I know I've encountered that too. Like, you can go to a restaurant and see two people sitting down and both of them are on their phone. No one is present anymore. No one is present not only with other people, but no one is present in their moments. Everyone is distracted. Everyone has their face in something that is projecting information at you constantly. When I was a recruiter, when I was first starting out, like in my early 20s, where I was living at the time, we did, the owner of the business did a demographic study of men and women between the ages of 24 and 44. And this would be like 20 years ago, okay? But I still think it rings true. We were talking about like average attention span and how long you have someone's attention before they get distracted into something else. So 20 years ago, that study showed that you had about 5.3 seconds, and then you've lost someone. Okay, then they're already doing something else. If they're not directly engaged with you, like looking at you, paying attention, you have about 5 seconds. Okay. Fast forward to just a few years ago, I looked up another study because I was curious. I was like, 20 years ago, that was pre-social media. Now we have social media. I really wanted to know what that study looked like now. You're going to be blown away by this. Actually, you're not going to be blown away by this stat. At the time, so it was 2022 when I looked it up, so that's still even 4 years ago, 2.1 seconds. 2.1 seconds is what we give people before we're distracted. As a society, we have a lot of work to do because that is just ridiculous. 2.1 seconds is what we give someone else or something. Your dog, your kid, your neighbor, whoever. We give them 2.1 seconds and then we're distracted. So I think it's going to take time for everyone to start to come back to themselves, to come back to the present moment. It's important that you do. It's important that even if you just take small steps to be mindful of the distractions that are coming at you all the time. So start small. Don't put anything on in the background while you're walking the dog. If you walk the dog, walk your dog without anything on. I've actually said this in my podcast that take a mindful walk with your dog. I see so many people with headphones on and they're in their phone and their dog is just like, you're not present with your dog. Your dog is having a wonderful walk in nature. Enjoy that with them too, right? Don't be so distracted. You don't need information coming at you all the time. So start with a mindful walk with your dog, or like I said, do the dishes with nothing on in the background, or I don't know, if you have time in the morning, take 3 minutes to just ground yourself with no distractions and be like, okay, we're gonna have a good day today, and just like come home to yourself. I do it at the end of the day because it helps you sleep. The reason some of you may be struggling with sleep is because you're so distracted all day long that when you finally shut everything off and you lay your head down, that's when all the thoughts that wanted to come out throughout the day come at you, because they're like, you didn't give us time to come out today, so we're going to come at you now. It's where insomnia comes from. It's where my insomnia used to come from. It's where distracted sleep comes from. It's where anxiety comes from. We're just a society that's so busy and distracted and asleep. So if you can try to wake up and be a little bit more mindful, that's what this video is. Just try to take small steps where you tune everything out. Tune out so you can tune in. Because sometimes the answers that you're looking for aren't out there, they're right here. And yes, it's okay to have a phone and play games on your phone and do all these things and communicate with people on your phone, but maybe give yourself a cutoff at night. I do. I cut myself off from social media and my phone. I actually literally put it in a drawer in another room because I'm just like, I need some time. And then what happens? I start scrolling and someone's like, here's some secondary TV. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Anyway, that's the video. That's the message today, is try, if you can, to be a bit more mindful of everything that's coming at you all at once. And when you start to separate yourself from that, you're really going to feel a change in your energy and a shift in your mindset. So I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by to check out the video and the space. I appreciate it. As mentioned, maybe did I mention this podcast? Yes, I have a podcast. It's called Jenspired the Podcast. You can find it on all your favorite platforms. I am about to release season 2, episode 3 next week. That episode is going to be all about gaslighting, breadcrumbing, and love bombing. So it's a doozy. And I also have a spiritual coaching and guidance business, so I'll leave the link in the description box. I appreciate all your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. If you feel comfortable and want to share your experience in the comment section, let's build a community of people who are awake, shall we? Thank you for having this Jenspire. Oh, that's my other bread. Thank you for having this Jenspiration conversation with me. I will see you next time. Cheers.